What is going on, guys? About God, not even a hand will do that. A hand, there's no roadblock for vape. There's none at all.
Look,
Now,
I'm going to give you what you want. I'm going to give them what they need. I'm going to give
I
you
think you
the gift of vape.
smoke it in, man. That was the best I could do.
There we go.
BalorFan85 back with another YouTube video with the vape master himself, Kevin.
Here I am.
And you guys asked, and he listened because this guy right here, like I said in the last video, he's kind of becoming a belt connoisseur.
I'm branching out to different belts. I'm branching out to different buyers and sellers, and I'm not so much set on the. I'm willing to buy a 2mm plate belt. I'm willing to buy a secondhand belt. I'm willing to buy a bootleg belt. As long as it's not too far off of what it's supposed to be. You guys have asked for different array of belts, and we've kind of been checking the boxes as we go. We have a belt here that I bought secondhand. It's got some wear to it. Me and the seller were able to work out a fairly decent price on it. Got here in a reasonable time. I know I was a little bit difficult to work with. This is the first time I bought a belt from an actual person and not like an online shop. And I was worried, like, what if I send the money and he doesn't send the belt?
There are a lot of scammers.
So we were going back and forth for a while, but listen, if you see a man on the belt groups or belt pages named JT Mallet selling anything, he's fair on his prices. He's going to send the belt out. That's who I got this one from. I'm very happy with the belt. I like the belt that I got. Like I said, it does have some age to it, but it is an older belt. And he took everything into effect when I brought up my concerns because he was asking a certain price for it. I expressed my concerns and we settled on a different price, which wasn't too far for him to go down and wasn't too far for me to come up. We kind of met in the middle, and just real pleasure working with him and getting this deal done. But if you don't have anything else to say, we'll go ahead and get right into it.
Well, I do got one. As far as belts go, I think this is probably one of the most hideous belts I've ever seen. Not as far as replica-wise, but just a belt in general. This was the first belt I ever saw that I thought I could go to a trophy shop and have made.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just plaques with names on it for the most part.
It is not as aesthetically appealing as other belts. And I'll go ahead and tell you right now, for me, and I own this belt now, it was never one of the belts I looked at and said, oh my God, that belt is beautiful.
I don't really think we ever talked about this belt, to be honest. I mean, I thought it was so far off our radar that I would never see one in person. I mean, even at shows, I don't think I've ever seen one in shows. This is the first time I'm seeing this.
And that's why I wanted it. I don't see this in very many collections. And granted, this isn't cream of the crop. It's not top of the shelf. It's not front of the line or anything like that. But it does serve its purpose. There is some age to it. There's some wear to it. There's some scuffs to it. But I'll get into what really sold me on this belt here in a second. But just to go ahead and get this up here in front of you guys, and this thing is massive. We have the Big Green Championship.
Wow, that is...
It is a mirror.
Yeah, we're going to do like this. We're going to come in here, and we have just a little bit of sunlight. As a matter of fact, let me go close a little bit of this.
Like I said, 2mm plate. Plates aren't really that thick. There is a little curve to it, which I like. That's just from where I had it sitting on my display case. The leather is a very good strap. This strap is awesome. This is probably the biggest belt that I have by a mile. I can fit it. I can wear it. I actually wore it when it came in. Getting into the things I like about this belt, you guys hear me talk about this a lot. I like the heritage behind belts. I like the names associated with the belt. And so many times that when someone comes over and they look at my belt collection and they're like, oh, well, I used to watch this guy hold that belt. And I'm like, you know what? I forgot he even had that belt. Mm-hmm. This one, what I really love about it is you have the name of the wrestler who won it. You have the date they won it and the date they were defeated for it. And you have that all the way across the belt. And the thing I love about this belt is this was a time where you didn't have somebody win a belt and then a week later they lost it. Like you have Bob Backlund held it from 78 to 83. You have Buddy Rogers from 61 to 63. I mean, stuff like that when the belts really meant something. They weren't just handed out and put on somebody to increase ratings or transitional champions, as I like to call them. This is back when, when you won the belt, you were expected to elevate it. You were expected to have a lengthy run with it. I really like that. That way, when the title did change hands, it was a surprise. When you go 3, 4, 5 years holding a belt and then all of a sudden it changes hands, it makes everybody like, I remember when he lost that belt. And I'm not knocking anything, but I mean, take for example, John Cena, 16-time world champion. Can you remember each time he lost the belt?
No, I can't even remember which time he held the belt, to be honest now.
But if you find somebody who was a fan in this time and they saw this belt, do you remember when Bob Backlund lost the belt after holding it for 5 years? Well, not you.
Oh, sorry. I thought you.
Not you, but a person back in this time, they probably could. And if they can't, it'd probably be easier for them to remember because it happened. It didn't happen so often.
No, as far as this, we're not going to get into. We're going to get into what we like. We're not really going to show any flaws because the flaws I've seen are wear and tear on this belt. I mean,
it's to be expected.
Yeah, we're not,
right off the bat, there's a stone missing right there. But
and you've got some.
I mean, this belt is old.
But this came from someone's personal collection. This isn't somebody making a belt and sending it out.
And for as long as he had it, this belt has been taken care of. This isn't a year-old belt. This isn't a 2-year-old belt. This belt is old.
So let's go ahead. We'll show the front. I do like the fact, and this is one thing I liked about the NXT title. I like the big wide straps.
Yeah,
I really like that. The North American.
I didn't like it on the NXT, but I do like it on this.
You'll see some tarnishing on the belt and everything, but again, that's to be expected because of how old it is. Again, we're going to work on getting a higher quality camera, and we may go back and visit some of these belts again with a higher quality camera. But right now, we just got.
Stopping here at the main plate, you guys know how I feel about contrast. There is no. I wish there was a separate color like the water and the globe or something like that. But once again, when this belt was used, they weren't really known for their high quality belt making abilities. And then you have more nameplates over here. This belt was retired by Hogan.
So the back, this is on an authentic leather strap, and it does have the good backing on it. The backing doesn't look like it's been torn.
The strap is the best part about this belt.
The strap. If you'll look right here,
Super
there's a lot of flexibility to it. A lot of give to it. Not sure who made the belt. Like I said, or like Kevin said, he got this from someone's personal collection. I gotta admit, it looks good, even if you take off the wear and tear, because again, that may not have been on the maker. It may have come out pristine. Again, this is a belt, in my opinion, I think would be easy to make.
It would, probably.
Because, I mean,
I can't speak for it, but I would imagine it would.
Mm-hmm. I got a feeling between this and, let's say, your New Japan or even the current AEW, this looks like you can go to a trophy shop, get the plates made from a plate maker, and then put it on leather.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to be great quality. I'm just saying it looks like something that could be made that way.
But you guys know how I feel about the nostalgia effect, and I've got older relatives that enjoy wrestling and older friends that enjoy wrestling, and I mean, I have friends that even though they weren't from this time, they go back and just watch wrestling after wrestling after wrestling. A friend of mine named Kyle Smith. I'm sure
you'll probably see him on this channel.
He could tell you all about this build, and he's one of those that could tell you, yeah, I remember when this person lost it to this person or whatever the case may be. I really wanted it in my collection, one, because it doesn't really pop up that often. It does have that nostalgia effect. It has a great lineage behind it. It's got great wrestlers literally on the belt. As far as like complex design and contrast and all the stuff I normally look for, it's just not here. But it makes up for it in other aspects, for me anyway.
And like you said, the belt itself is just massive. I mean, I don't think you can get that much around on any other belt as far as that goes. I mean, it's
If
just
we
a
were to try to
massive-
see, we're all the way back here and we still can't get it from one end to the other.
no.
It's a massive belt, and that's the first thing you said when you seen it. You're like, "Wow, that thing is huge." But
I'm sorry, we got sidetracked. There's just people talking, and it kind of threw me off.
it's definitely glad I have it in my collection.
It's a conversation starter. It harkens back, just like the Backlund belt, to the old days of wrestling.
Mhm.
It's and again, call me ignorant to the classic wrestling. The only thing I can remember really about this belt is seeing pictures of Hogan wearing it or Hogan winning it. I can vaguely remember Backlund with it. I can vaguely remember the Iron Sheik with it,
Mhm.
but that's about as far as my knowledge of this belt goes. So it's nothing. Again, it's nothing I ever thought that I'd sit here and look at. But Kevin here, being the outside of the box thinker he is, he jumped on it. I think you did a pretty good. You got it for a pretty good price, and you got
I'm satisfied.
a pretty
with it.
decent belt. I'd actually buy this over your New Japan heavyweight title.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, if you still use that shoddy maker, whoever that is, that doesn't deserve to make belts at all.
It's a great wall piece.
It's a great wall piece. It is, but
Jesus.
those snaps. That's your $1 million title for me.
Coming from a guy who owns $1 million title.
I don't. Miss
Okay.
Dollar Fan 85 does.
Listen, okay, we both got belts we ain't so proud of.
Yeah.
But when you got it closed and it's on the shelf and people aren't grabbing it, and if you kind of close one eye and you kind of close the other eye,
Or overlook the orange swoosh.
it looks really cool.
Yeah. Or overlook the orange swoosh.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, you got anything else you want to say about this? I think it's a really good replica, and
I do like it. Like I said, I can't speak enough about how great I think the strap is. Natural wear and tear over time.
Mhm.
Once again, JT Mallet, great guy. Look, to put into perspective, I put this man through a headache. Hey, I'll send you. I'll send you half the money now, and then when you show me proof that you've sent it out, I'll send you the other half, and all this other stuff. And I was just being a real pain. But then again, like I said, there's a lot of scammers out there. But he was real cool about it. He was real understanding. If you ever see him pop up on your news feed or the belt groups or whatever, wanting to sell or offload a belt, you can trust that he's going to send you exactly what he says he's going to. Yeah, I had a hiccup.
Oh,
He's
okay.
going to send you exactly what he says he's going to send you. He's going to do things the right way. He's not going to rip you off. He's not going to scam you. I know he did not want to let this belt go, but man, I can assure you it's in a great collection. It's not being abused, and it's being appreciated.
Yeah, so if you want to join the belt groups and everything, if you see anybody selling something, don't be afraid. And I think you did the same thing. Ask people in the group. Put a post up. Hey, what about this person? I guarantee you're going to get comments back, and they're going to tell you whether or not it's a good seller, bad seller. You did everything the right way. You went and asked around. And again, you found somebody that you could haggle with.
I did.
And they gave you a fair price.
And to be completely honest, when we started out, he was asking a certain price, and I told him, like, man, I don't want to insult you. I can't come close to that. And we, instead of just
You had to
brushing
get
it
an
off,
expert to come look at it.
instead of just brushing it off and saying, well, you know what, go F yourself, he said, all right, man, tell me what you can do. And I told him the price, and we kind of took where I started and took where he started, met in the middle. Like I said, he was more than willing to work with me on it. I think this belt made it to me right at a week after I paid. Right at a week. It might have been 6 days, but when it came in, I mean, I was really happy with it. I'm still really happy with it. Like I said, belt sits up on the shelf, and it's very much appreciated. It has that nostalgia effect. It has the lineage on the side of it, and
it's basic.
it's a
and sometimes
massive
basic
belt.
works.
It's so big.
Sometimes basic works. I mean, you've got a basic strap. There's no tooling to it. There's nothing to it. It's got a good backing on the back. All the screws are in place. Plates are in there fine. Plates are basic. I mean, you got a few jewels in there of different colors.
Mm-hmm.
It does the job. I mean, back in the day, I could see this being the title, which it was. So that being said, you got anything else you want to say about the old Big Green?
Nope. Just once again, JT, appreciate you, man. And like I said, you guys, if he ever pops up on your news feed, he's a trustworthy guy.
That being said, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for viewing, and you have a good one.